You ever feel like building wealth has its own kind of weird physics? It's not a straight line. It's this incredibly slow crawl at the beginning that then suddenly turns into a full-on sprint. So why is that? Well, there's a hidden momentum at play, and we're about to unpack it.
It really all comes back to this famously blunt piece of advice from the legendary investor Charlie Munger. Now, he wasn't just being a hard-ass here. He was actually letting us in on a fundamental secret of finance. That first $100,000, it's a totally unique kind of barrier. And once you break through it, the entire game changes. So, what's the big deal? Why is it so uniquely tough? Is it really just about sacrificing and pinching every penny? Not really. The real reason is buried in the mathematics of how money actually grows. It's the secret code that explains why the beginning feels like such a grind, and we're about to unlock it.
Okay, to crack this code, you've got to understand that there are two different engines driving your wealth. At first, one of them does pretty much all the heavy lifting. But your real mission is to get that second, way more powerful engine fired up. So meet your two engines. Over on the left, you have your effort. This is the cash you save from your paycheck. It's pure, raw muscle. Then on the right, you've got your money's effort. These are the returns your investments start to generate all by themselves. In the beginning, though, it's all you, man. It's like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill by yourself. And this is the magic that powers that second engine. It's called compounding. Honestly, it's maybe the most powerful force in all of finance. Put simply, it's the point where your money starts working for you, earning its own paycheck. And then that money starts earning its own money. It creates this incredible chain reaction.
All right, so let's stop talking theory and actually see how this works. We're going to dive into the hard numbers now. This is where you'll see exactly what Charlie Munger was talking about and why getting over that first hurdle is literally everything.
Okay, so let's say you're saving and investing a steady amount every single month, and you're getting just average market returns. How long do you think it would take to hit that first big milestone? Go on, take a guess.
Nearly 8 years. And you know what's so wild? During all that time, it feels like you're just spinning your wheels. Your investment returns are tiny. The vast majority of that $100,000 comes directly from your savings, your own effort. It is a long, slow, frustrating grind.
But here's where the physics of everything starts to shift. Once you finally get to the top of that hill, once that 100 grand is invested and working, the journey to the next 100,000 looks completely different. So, how long do you think that takes?
Just over 5 years. That's nearly 3 years faster. So why the huge difference? Well, it's because it's no longer just you doing all the work. You now have 100,000 tiny employees, every single dollar working for you 24/7. Your money finally has a job, and it's starting to pull its own weight. This right here is the tipping point.
Now, let's zoom out. Let's see what this acceleration looks like over, say, a 40-year career. Because this is where things go from kinda cool to absolutely mind-blowing. It's just like a snowball rolling downhill. It just keeps picking up more snow and more speed.
Just check out this progression. The first 100K takes almost 8 years. The second one, just 5 years. The third is less than 4. You see what's happening? By the end, you're racking up another $100,000 in shorter and shorter periods of time. This shows you perfectly how the time between those big milestones just shrinks and shrinks as your money's engine really gets roaring.
And here's the most bizarre, counterintuitive part of this whole thing. You'd expect your wealth to grow in a nice, neat, straight line, right? But it doesn't. Not even close. The growth is ridiculously skewed towards the end of your journey. It almost defies logic.
I mean, just look at this chart. In a 40-year investing window, a jaw-dropping 62% of your total gains come in the final 10 years. Think about that. You spend 30 years, 3 decades, laying the foundation, and then, bam, the real growth happens almost overnight. It is the ultimate reward for being patient.
So let's wrap this all up and bring it back to you. Because understanding this financial physics isn't just a cool math problem, it's a real strategic advantage for your own life.
So here's what you need to take away from this. First, you have to embrace the grind. The beginning is supposed to be the slowest, hardest part. That's normal, so don't get discouraged. Second, your absolute #1 goal has to be getting past that first 100K so that compounding engine can finally take over. And third, remember that time is your greatest superpower. The earlier you start, the more powerful this whole effect becomes.
So we'll leave you with this thought.
Munger called the first 100,000 a bitch because it's a test. It's a test of your will against the slow-moving laws of finance. But once you pass that test, those laws start working for you, not against you. So the only question left is, when are you going to get started?